at super speed, high above the ground on the attraction. She screamed with excitement from the adrenaline rush. Suddenly, she felt something hard and heavy hit her head.
No.
This video captures the accident on the Superstar ride in Cheshire County this year.
In England?
Amid the cheerful screams, people didn't immediately hear a large panel breaking off from the mechanism. It struck Caitlin and then fell to the ground, right into the crowd.
Oh my
Luckily,
God.
people managed to scatter, but Caitlin ended up in the hospital with a concussion.
Yo, when people say, why are you scared of rides? This is why. This is why.
Watching this footage is enough to give anyone goosebumps. Today, I've once again compiled the top most shocking accidents caught on camera. However, as always, viewer discretion is advised. Robin Wintersmith glanced at the crowd of fans, then put on his helmet and hit the throttle on his motorcycle.
No, Saf, I've been on rides before, but I've never been on like a big roller coaster. You know, like the big ones with the loop and like the... Nah, I've never been on one of them. I've never been on a big ride. I've been on small ones, but...
In 1979, this stuntman's name was on everyone's lips. It was because at an air show in Elstree, England, he performed a daring stunt, jumping with a Suzuki RM250cc over 31 cars.
Hey, what?
That's a 58-meter obstacle.
Ah!
But he fell just 1 meter short of breaking Eddie Kidd's record, who jumped over 14 double-decker buses.
How?
So he decided to try again to become the absolute record holder. The previous jump had problems. The Suzuki landed harshly on the grass at over 113 kilometers per hour. Still, the stuntman got away with bruises.
Oh my God.
This time, he decided to use a landing ramp, a special structure to reduce the impact force. Instead of adding a few extra meters to Eddie Kidd's record,
Bro, how do you jump over this many cars?
Robin planned to jump 65 meters, 7 meters more. As an obstacle, he used 30 Rolls Royces. 10,000 fans held their breath. Robin hit the throttle. He quickly gained speed, and his Suzuki took off. Unexpectedly, the motorcycle slightly twisted. As Robin had calculated everything to the millimeter, this mistake could ruin everything. In midair, he quickly corrected his course, but this caused the front wheel to rise too high, and the rear wheel hit the edge of the ramp. In this shocking footage, you can see the stuntman crashing into and smashing the roof of the 28th Rolls-Royce, just falling short of his goal. Robin was rushed to the hospital, yet his life couldn't be saved. And this wasn't the only time a stunt
Wait, he died. Wait, he died? Oh, shit.
show went wrong right before thousands of spectators. In 2012, viewers at an air show in Ohio eagerly awaited the Wing Walkers. These stunt performers can pull off a viral trick from Hollywood movies. During it, an airplane, usually a biplane, performs a maneuver called the pendulum, a full loop. The stunt performer is secured by a special structure. However, there's a more challenging task. They have to crawl across...
Okay, so I'm scared of just getting on the plane and going from A to B. You got this fucking woman going on a plane, standing on top, doing... Okay, bro.
The wings, always staying on top, like the woman in this clip. Her name was Jane Wicker. She was to perform this trick at the air show. In one of her interviews, she said she felt safer on an airplane wing than when driving to the airport, because then she was in control, not depending on the pilot's skills.
What do you mean you're in control?
Little did she know these words would come back to haunt her.
You're fucking dangling!
Her biplane rose into the air and made a loop while Jane quickly tried to move to the other side of the wing. She managed it. Still, the biplane pilot...
Wait, is she not
had problems. He lost control almost immediately after the loop, and the plane plummeted at high speed. I can't show you the entire video because it's too disturbing.
Oh, damn.
But the footage shows the biplane crashing almost into the center of the arena, surrounded by spectator stands, and exploding. The commentator nervously asked the children to close their eyes. Meanwhile, the adults watched in horror as the burning wreckage of the plane made it clear there was no chance for the pilot and Jane Wicker to survive. It's not only risky to perform stunts, but also to make others do them. In 2019, a famous Russian circus, Shapito, was touring the country. Most of its audience was very young children who loved the cute animal tricks. When the traveling circus performed its show in Olegnets, the children exploded with applause. Upon seeing a huge trained bear coming out and pushing a wheelbarrow like a real person, the trainer rewarded the bear with some food, and the bear playfully began to spar with him. People filmed this mini spectacle on their phones, and the children were delighted by the bear's play. But a few seconds later, the bear started attacking the trainer aggressively, and another circus worker began kicking the animal. This was no longer play. Only when one grandmother quickly started to take her child away did the others do the same. The danger was real. There was no barrier between the audience.
Well, I ain't gonna lie. At the end of the day, it's a fucking bear. It's a fucking bear. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
And the ring. Though the bear was muzzled, it continued to maul the trainer with its sharp claws until it was hit with a shocker. The audience was outraged that the circus included a wild animal act in their program without ensuring the children's safety. Furthermore, the circus faced allegations of animal mistreatment. The circus management claimed the flashes from the audience's cameras had...
Well, I'm not... Hey, listen. If I was a fucking bear, yeah, and you put me in this, making me perform, I'd fucking maul you too. I would maul the shit out of you too, bro. You putting me in a tutu, making me dance in front of people.
Claimed the flashes from the audience's cameras had angered the bear. Eventually, this act was removed from the show. There's no doubt that circus performers and stuntmen have risky professions. Yet there are countless videos on the internet of even ordinary construction.
Yes, I know I've worn worse, but that was my own doing. I didn't get forced in it. You know what I mean? Like, it's a bit different me putting on a, a dress and then you guys putting on me and strapping me there in front of people. You know what I mean? There's a difference, you know? You know what I mean?
Workers caught in horrifying incidents. One day in 2022, a Toronto resident was walking downtown when he looked up and saw something that truly terrified him. The man immediately pulled out his phone and started recording. Here are those clips. In them, you can see a construction worker dangling from a crane by a rope very high above the ground.
But he needs help.
The poor worker is screaming in terror. But I can't play the audio for you because the person recording was swearing in shock. And I totally get it. I had the same reaction when I paused the video and counted which floor the man was hanging by, the 10th. If he lets go of that rope, he'll definitely fall to his death. There are actually several videos of this incident from different angles, which quickly went viral. Representatives from the Ontario Ministry of Labour saw the clips and demanded immediate explanations from the contractor, Modern Niagara.
Yeah, yo, chat, why are we all not asking the same question right now? How did he end up like that? How do you end up somehow holding onto a rope, dangling that high up from nowhere? Like, bro, did he try to swing? Like what was he doing? Did he try and like fucking swim from one building to another? Like, how is he ended up in that situation?
The project manager confirmed that there had indeed been an incident on the site. The worker's arm got tangled in the rope after he hit a load. It was also revealed that, thankfully, the man in the video was safely brought down and didn't suffer serious injuries.
Okay.
However, this video makes you think things could have ended much worse. In another clip recorded in New York in 2023, a construction crane catches fire and its arm breaks off, crashing right into a street full of people.
Oh, shit.
The fire started in the crane's engine while it was lifting about 16 tons of concrete. The operator tried to extinguish the flames, but had to escape as the fire quickly spread to the cab. In the end, 12 people, including 9 civilians and 3 firefighters, were injured but survived.
You live here.
Interestingly, a later inspection found that the crane was stable before the fire. Yet, there are tragic incidents that could have been avoided by simply following safety rules. One such event happened on July 14, 1999, during the construction of Miller Park in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It's now known as American Family Field. The project used a massive crawler crane, one of the largest in the world at the time, measuring 173 meters, earning it the nickname Big Blue.
Big Blue.
The crane was lifting stadium sections, each weighing 450 tons. The workers had already installed 9 of the 30 sections, but when it was time for the 10th, everything went wrong. That morning, the workers noticed strong gusts of wind. It turned out that the wind speed was reaching 45 kilometers per hour in some places. Operating the crane was dangerous. However, the management was only concerned that the project wouldn't be completed on time, which would incur penalties for each additional day. So, they didn't give their permission to stop.
Here we go. A case of people trying to rush things in unsafe environments, bro. Just so they meet their quotas, you know what I'm saying?
Work, especially since the massive crane was supposed to withstand such wind. Indeed, Big Blue could stand on its own, but the management didn't consider that the crane would be holding a roof section almost 2,800 square meters in size. Such a giant structure essentially acted as a sail. This was too much strain, even for Big Blue. These clips show the moment the crane started to fall. What is most intriguing is that a safety inspector made this video. The footage shows how the crane's debris destroyed already built elements of the stadium. Yet the worst part of this situation is that, as it fell, Big Blue hit another crane, inside of which there were 3 workers: Jeffrey Wisher, William DeGrave, and Jerome Starr. They fell from a height of over 60 meters.
Hey. Well, did they learn a lesson, bro? That they wanted to meet quota? They didn't want the punishments? Well, you just fucked up the whole thing. Nah, mate. You fucked up. Chat, this is a lesson of do not be too greedy. As soon as you get greedy, shit can go bad and you lose everything, bro.
Instantly passed away. As a result, 3 companies involved in the construction were fined a total of $500,000. The widows of the deceased workers received another $99,250,000 in compensation. Either way, no.
Izzy! Come in my stream! Do you want to be a construction worker? Izzy! Bro, I'll push the crane over. I'll fucking push the crane over. 99 million! 99 million! Bro, that's the biggest compensation I've ever seen. Holy fuck. Damn. Obviously, in all seriousness, chat, it's not worth their lives, you know what I'm saying? But for me, I'll let Izzy go for 99 million. I'll just clone another Izzy, bro, for 20 million. You know what I'm saying?
Compensation. Either way, no amount of money can replace lost lives.
Facts.
Moreover, an ordinary passerby could have also been hurt in the story. So even if you don't work in a dangerous job, it doesn't mean you're safe from trouble. On July 22nd, 2021, residents of Zhengzhou, China were riding on the subway as usual. They noticed the floor
listen, before we get another Mary in the chat, I'm totally kidding. I have to clarify now that I'm actually kidding. Chat, of course, 99 million is not worth his life. 10 million is.
Getting wet. The lights began to flicker erratically, and the train stopped, but the doors wouldn't open. Meanwhile, the water kept rising. It reached above their ankles and their waists, and for some, even their necks. Hundreds of people were trapped. A video taken on one passenger's phone shows how a heavy downpour flooded the subway tunnel. Those on the platform could at least wade through the water to the stairs and climb to the surface. Yet the passengers in the train cars were entirely dependent on the rescuer's speed. Here, people climbed onto the seats to delay drowning. They stood in the water for an hour, then 2. One woman, believing she was facing her final moments, dictated her bank card details to her loved ones over the phone. After her, others began doing the same, as the water kept rising, making it seem like the end was near. At some point, shorter people had nowhere to go, and those who were taller lifted them into the air pocket that remained near the ceiling. The passengers stood in the cold, dirty water for 4 hours before rescuers reached them. They managed to free about 500 people, but unfortunately, not everyone survived.
Wait. 4 hours? What did it do? Fucking crawl there? It took you 4 hours. 4 hours.
12 passengers passed away. I don't know about you, but the thought of not even being safe in public transport terrifies me. However, as someone who reads many articles about various tragedies, I can confidently say that the most dramatic accidents are somehow related to civil aviation. On July 27, 2007, several helicopters with journalists from various news outlets took to the skies over Arizona. They were covering a live police chase in Phoenix involving a car thief. Suddenly, two AS-350A Star helicopters from KNXV-TV and KTVK collided with each other. Their rotors were damaged, and the helicopters began plummeting to the ground.
Wait, hold up. How did you just fucking How do you just collide? How?
Star helicopters from KNXV-TV and KTVK collided with each other. Their rotors were damaged, and the helicopters began plummeting to the ground. The news broadcast was abruptly cut off. That day, all 4 people on board both helicopters lost their lives. This looks like a scene from an action movie. I would have never believed.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, but is the helicopter, the person driving, if they got eyes, like how did they not see the red one? I don't get that. Now, I'm pretty certain if I was flying a helicopter, I would see another helicopter. There's not much traffic in the skies. You know what I mean? Oh, they was watching the car, not the skies. Oh, eyes on. Oh. What?
Helicopters lost their lives. This looks like a scene from an action movie. I would have never believed such a thing could happen in real life if it wasn't for the video taken by other journalists flying nearby. This tragedy is an unfortunate coincidence. Still, with some aircraft models, deadly incidents are far from random. To prevent further disasters.
Yo, that's
I initially
so
mistook
bad.
this clip for popular driving POV videos on YouTube, like Trapping in Japan. Just imagine how scared I was when the car suddenly went off the road.
I've seen this.
I immediately started Googling this news and found out that, fortunately, a few dozen meters later, the crossover miraculously caught on a concrete structure, and the driver survived. He just wanted to film the scenery and got distracted on a particularly dangerous part of California's Angeles Crest Highway.
I've seen that clip before.
Have you ever witnessed any horrific events? Write in the comments about how you felt and, most importantly, how you acted at that moment.
Let's go, Michael.
I created this channel to share negative experiences so that we can learn from others' mistakes.
Bro, crazy, man. Crazy, crazy, crazy. He was driving so fast. Yeah, that clip was crazy.